hello, happy whatever day you're watching this. It's Saturday for me, and I have an exciting box from H2C, Thai Honda accessory company. They're kind of OEM. Oh, that's dark. Hey, it's bright out. Kind of OEM, kind of not OEM, but they're Honda. They're Honda's accessory line for Groms and other small bikes in Thailand and other parts of Asia. What I bought is their cargo rack, and I'm pretty excited about it. Got it from Super Bikers online. Kind of a sketchy website, but everything went through fine. 3,100 Thai baht, which ended up being 80 something bucks American. The part's only about 1,100 baht, and then the rest was shipping from Thailand. So about 80 bucks. You can find them all day on eBay or Amazon as well. I'll have a part number below, as well as the link to Super Bikers where I bought it from. But there's a few other retailers that are selling them too. So what is it? It's a rack that goes on the Grom, but rather than going backwards, it just sticks over like the passenger part of the seat. And for my bike, I feel like that might be kind of ideal. So let me show you what's in the box, and we'll go from there. This is not a true unboxing, I already opened it. But okay. In the box we have instructions that are in Thai, so super useful. But Apple's Translate app, I'm sure Google has one as well. Actually, it does a really good job with those, so kind of useful, but really basic instructions anyway. True Honda fashion, they're wrapped extremely well. We have our H2C. This is the rack itself. It's bigger than I thought, just based on pictures alone. I expected it to be a little smaller and more compact, but I love how large it is, and there's a little scoop for your behind, which is another big concern for me. I am not a small dude, and taking up part of the passenger seat just taking up any of it, kind of limits how far I can scoop back on the seat. And these are your two side plates. They're both basically the same. I don't need to unbox them both. And then a packet of hardware. They have really nice like aluminum spacers with it, and then it looks like stainless hardware. Surprise, it's all 5mm heads to make Honda's life and our life so much easier. And that's the box, pretty simple. I did two things to make my life easier. One, I took off my exhaust. I have a high mount exhaust, so it uses some of the same points. And then two is I took off the molly panel that I have on the other side of the bike. I do plan on putting this back on. I just need a little bit longer bolts. And then obviously the exhaust is gonna go back on. But both should still work just fine with this kit. Next step on the install, man, I'm fighting the daylight. Like, it's beautiful out, but black things are hard to show. Next step is pull these little plugs out. With my exhaust already using this one, you just need to pull this one out, and they just pop out. If you don't have nails, use a screwdriver. I don't know. It's a plug. Pull it out. For the actual mounting of these, we're starting, you'll put the two side plates on and then put the top plate in between. You want the swoop of it to go forward, and then the bottom actually goes in towards the bike. There's two different size spacers in there. There's a longer one and a shorter one, and the longer one has a little bit of a line going down the middle of it. That's how you know, well, aside from it being, a couple millimeters longer, that's the easy way to identify it. Let's see, the long one is on the top, short one is on the bottom. I have a cable in the way apparently on the shorter one. Bolt washer goes through. Then you're gonna put your spacer. I have the short one already in the bike. I probably did that out of frame. So anyways, bolt washer, put it through. And we will give that a little screw in. I really hope my exhaust is actually compatible with this. I could see maybe a little issue with the tab of it up there, but we will cross that path later, and maybe I can find my wrench. Where did you go, wrench? Haha, victory. Anyways, you don't have to watch me do this. screw these bolts in. Right side's on. Wow, those are words. Right side is on. And now we're gonna do the left side, same thing. Bolt through, spacer. Bolt through, spacer. Same thing, tighten it up. And of course I forgot the wrench on the other side. Ah, it's a day. Cool, now we can put the top piece on. And you can kind of start to see how, you know, the like Kemimoto ones and stuff wrap back, and then your rack is actually back here, which I don't love, because then you're covering up your brake light and tail light, and if you have your turn signals there, you're covering those up too, and I was just never a super fan of that style. This one is definitely still a bit of a risk, I think, because I don't know quite if I'm going to fit on it or not. Like I said, I got a big booty. I removed my passenger strap because I could feel it, and the passenger strap went about there, and I don't know. We'll see, but that's neither really here nor there. So line up your bolt holes. We're gonna keep doing everything a little loose until we get all of the bolts in. Once it's, you know, got its structure and form and whatnot, then we'll tighten everything down. And I want to get the rack assembled before I try and put my exhaust back on, just to make sure that the rack is even and shaped how it's supposed to, and then I'll go mess with it after. But cool, I'll just tighten stuff up. 8 bolts, not that bad of an install at all as far as Honda goes, like every other hex head on the bike. I wonder if that's true. No, there's got to be some 4mm on here. Like almost every other bolt head on here, it's a 5mm. Pretty easy install. There you go. Hell yeah, that's a rack. There's the rack. Stops basically flush with your tail light there. A little bit of a gap underneath, which is okay. Definitely not going to have a passenger on there. Overall install time, I mean, it's 8 bolts. Maybe 5 minutes if you're stopping to grab everything, or 10 minutes if you're filming like it was for me. Okay, let's try sitting on it, and then I will also show you what my plan for that rack is. Like, what's a rack if you aren't going to put anything on it? Okay, $80 question, because I'm sure as hell not shipping this back to Thailand. Do I fit? Oh, that's not bad at all. Yeah, that's great. Like I'm touching it, I can feel it, but that's about where I would normally sit anyway. And it's not like it's, I mean, sharp or anything. Okay. I don't know if you can actually see that or not, but that's not bad. Cool, let's let's accessorize. Let's put some overland shit on it. Just kidding, this is not overland. Please don't call this overland. Okay, so what are we actually doing with the rack? We are putting a Kriega US5. US5? US5. They have so many naming conventions I can never actually remember. We're slapping a Kriega US5 on there. I think that's probably about the biggest that you would want to put on there. On my BMW, I have a 12 that I love. I've had on there for years. It holds all the random stuff. But I think for the Grom, the 5 makes sense. I've used it as a tank bag before. I've used it, let the exposure adjust. Used it as a tank bag before. I've used it to strap it onto other cases. It's just kind of a good little 5-liter case. Throw a water bottle and a towel or whatever you put in a tank bag in there. So let's try and get that put on. The bag is on, love it. I'll show you more of that later. I'm trying to get my exhaust back on, and there's a little bit of an issue. You can see, that's as far as I can zoom. Fun. All right, we're just gonna drag you over. Okay, little bit of a clearance issue where this mount comes out, but there's an ear there. I could put the exhaust on the inside of the rack, but then it's not quite square anymore, and I mean, this will take me 3 minutes on an angle grinder to get off. So I'm gonna do that, and then I will see you right back in this exact same shot. 3 minutes with an angle grinder, and it now fits. Although I didn't tighten it. That's mildly important. Yeah, cool. So, does work with high mount exhaust, assuming you have enough room to kind of clearance around that bolt a little bit. Otherwise, I see no issue running that with Zoom or Tochi or Yoshi or any of the other Mario characters. So, cool. Let me show you what I did up here. So one of the nice things about these US5 Kriega bags is there's so many different ways you can mount them. So I removed the bottom strap, actually laced it underneath here, had it come out the side, and then attach onto the loops at the back there. So the front of this can expand to its heart's content without having to adjust that back strap. Now the front strap, left it through the top like it is, and then just fed the loop underneath, and then out and attach that on either side. So that is my new tail bag. I don't know. I'm kind of actually digging the look without the MOLLE panel. We'll see if I end up putting that back on. I think at a minimum what I want to do is get bags that now match color-wise with the Kriega, so we'll see. But that's easy enough. It's 2 bolts to put back on, and it shouldn't be a big deal to run. Wait for a car to go by, a truck to go by. What I mentioned before is I like this rack because it doesn't cover up your tail light or your turn signals if you have an integrated one. So I'm pretty stoked on that. I think it looks cool. Really wish there was someone that just, imported 20 or 30 of these and sold them rather than having to buy it straight from Thailand. But hey, I'm not an importer. What do I know? Maybe there's some rules against it or something. So I've seen it on, wow, my hair is stupid today. I need a haircut real bad. Promise it's not gonna be like the last times where I said that for 6 months though. I bought this on Super Dash Bikers. I'll put a link to them below. They were really quick and it was DHL worldwide. So I got here in, I don't know, 3-4 days. The other places I saw it, I mean, eBay, obviously, Amazon for sure. It was on WeBike Japan, so Japanese models as well. I actually saw it on Amazon Japan, but didn't want to figure out how to manage to ship something from Amazon Japan. So it's available all over. I'll put the part number and the rest of it below. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Hopefully this is a quick one. Hopefully I didn't ramble for too long. Speaking of rambling, I do have maybe a request, maybe a thought. I don't know what you want to call it. I want to change the channel name. Right now it's just my name. That doesn't really describe anything about what we do here, and no one can pronounce my last name anyway, so might as well change that. My current best idea, y'all know I'm a fan of adult beverages. Y'all know I have one in particular that is aggressively adequate and cheap. So my thought is calling the channel Spencer's PBR, which play on words, but the PBR, projects, bikes, rides, kind of what we do here. I don't know, let me know your thoughts. If you have better ideas, throw them at me. And I'm willing to run with the best one. Like I said, I'm not sold on Spencer's PBR, but I do think it's kind of funny. Anyways, I have now rambled on far too long, and I will let you go about your day as you were. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.